Salam alaikum, alaikum salam, kesambil akutare. Hope you guys are doing great. Happy holidays to those who celebrate these holidays. I know that a lot of us do and some of us don't. For those who do, happy holidays to you guys. I know that the next one we're going to have, if I'm not mistaken, will be the New Year's holiday. Then after the New Year's holiday, we have what's called the Three Kings holiday for the Latinos. They still practiced the Three Kings. Actually, there were not three kings, but this is what is stated. But when you do actually the history, they were men that were very in tune, you know, and with astronomy and all this type of stuff, and they would follow certain prophecies from different type of cultures, and they knew certain things. So that's exactly the difference there. There were not three kings. They were more like magi's, whichever way you want to call it. But it states there were three kings. Anyway, we're not here for that. I'm here today because I wanted to speak about the pre-presentation ceremonies. There are munansos that the elders do pre-presentation ceremonies. Pre-presentation ceremonies meaning that before you get initiated, they would take you to certain parts, certain places, like a park, no, not like a park, like a country, like a river, like the sea, like going to a saber tree, railroad track. Some go to prisons, police precincts. Some will go to hospitals, different places. Even some will even go to cemeteries and all that. But these are pre-presentation ceremonies. And what they do is they take it to these places and they cast and find out what comes out in the casting and see if there's anything wrong with you being blessed and also recognized by the spirits or spirituality that realms or runs these places. Because as practitioners, we know that there's certain spiritualities and certain spirits, certain impungos, certain inquisis that are in charge, or they run certain parts or certain things in this whole earth. Those who do not practice what we practice just go to these places like normal. But we, as practitioners of the tradition, we understand that there's spirituality in these places. Now, some houses do not follow these pre-presentation ceremonies, and there's nothing wrong with it. The houses that do practice it, there's nothing wrong with it also. You know, different ramas do different things. You know, from my understanding, there's 4 ramas. I have read and heard of more, but the most predominantly ones that you will hear is Mayombe, Briyumba, Kimbisa, and one that you barely hear of is Chamalonga. So you guys have to remember. And out of these 3 and the others, there are sub-branches that come out. And from those sub-branches, it keeps going. So people follow and people practice and do certain things differently. Now, what it all comes down to is whether they do or they do not do these pre-presentations. As long as you are initiated and get the recognition of that inkisi that you're getting initiated on, that's the most thing that matters. Okay. From my understanding, like I said, those who do the pre-initiation presentations, they are asking the spirit for the acknowledgement of you, to acknowledge you as spirit in flesh, but for them to have acknowledgement of you. And also, in another way, also, you asking for their blessings. All right? So, you will ask, why a police precinct? And other questions. Well, you know, we go to police precincts for certain things, whether you got arrested or you went to fill out some type of form or something because somebody violated, whether your property, your house, your car, or any other thing, or a personal matter that you have a disagreement with a certain person. You will go to a precinct, you will file out a form of complaint or something of that sort. So the spirituality that roams these places, if you are initiated, in other words, you have their blessings, you have their recognition, you're capable to summons and ask them to help you with whatever you're going through in that situation, for whatever it may be. If you get locked up for something and you're recognized by the spirituality there, then you could summons that spirituality to help you. You know? That's why I said every house does things differently. Not everyone is going to do the same. We cannot judge who does pre-presentations and who don't. To me, it's fine whether you do or you don't. The most important thing for me is that the Inkishi that you got initiated at accepted you there, and that you did the procedures that you had to follow, and that your menga fall upon that Inkishi, and now you have recognition by him and by the spiritual realm. That's the most important part. Now, from my understanding, when you do these pre-presentations and you have the recognition of that spirituality, let's say I take you to the simple one. Let's say I take you to the river and do this presentation of the river. I'm asking the spirituality, the essence of that river, to not only bless you, to recognize you in a spiritual way, in protection from you drowning. And also, when you're going to these places, to take, let's say, some water for yourself. Yeah, we still pay a derecho, but we have recognition of these places. They recognize us already in the spiritual realm. You understand? In the spiritual sense. Anytime you take something from this earth, in these places, you have to remember this is not yours. Anybody could take dirt, rock, sand, or whatever and use it for whatever they want. But does those people that do that have the blessings to take that? Is a different story. Those people who took those things without asking and without paying a derecho, when they use them, are they really going to have spirituality or the blessings or the acceptance of that spirituality for whatever you're using those things for? That's the question you have to ask yourself. And a lot of times, this is why pre-presentations are done, for the recognition of you and the blessings that you have. Because if you're not blessed, meaning if whatever falls doesn't come out in your favor, then you have to be very careful when you go to a river. You know, for some reason or other, something is going on that you shouldn't be messing around too much with the river, because you could get hurt, you understand, in some way. So, but these are for the ones that do the pre-presentations. And you know, your Tata, your Yaya will try to placate, find out what's going on, for you to get the blessing and the recognition of these spiritualities of these certain places. So they still try to do things to get it solved and find out what's going on. And if it doesn't, down the line after your initiation, they'll find out and they'll fix whatever is going on, and then you have the license to go to these places. You know, the license, the recognition that they will have towards you when you open and walk and grab and take from what we call this planet Earth, you know. I was done pre-initiations, presentations a while back. And I didn't understand it. I was like, why am I coming to a prison? Why am I coming to a police precinct? Why am I going to a river? Why am I going to a courthouse? Why am I going to a hospital? Like, none of these places I want to go to, you know? Really, none of these places, like in the bad sense, you know, like you look at, I don't want to go to a court or a hospital or a precinct or jail, or, you know, none of these places. But I put a little bit of common sense. I said, most likely, this is for I don't fall in these places. And if I do fall in these places, that I'm capable to have the possibility that the spirituality that realms and roams these places will recognize me and give me some type of help in some type of way in the spiritual world, the spiritual sense. All that counts, remember, is that you get initiated and your manga goes in that pot. Other than that, if you do pre-presentations or not, to me, there's nothing wrong with it. You still are initiated, and you still are either a Piro Nuevo, an Engello, and for those who initiate straight into Tata, because of whatever they see and those casting that they do, and they understand that, which some people might be against what I'm gonna say, but some houses would initiate you straight to Tata, depending of the letters that come out when they do the casting. And only they know when they do the casting if they should initiate you as Tata or as Engello. Not everybody could be initiated as Tata. But in some letters that come out, some houses will initiate you as Tata Nkisi. Meaning, Tata, but you won't have a prenda. You won't have a caldron, but you're Tata Nkisi. And if you put your mind and you, because most of the times the people who are initiated straight into Tata Nkisi is because they come to work this. This is their walk. A lot of Tatas do not do this. They just start you off as a Pino Nuevo, Engello, or Huataco, like this. And then depending on how you develop and how they see you, how you are doing, then they'll ask and see if you can initiate you into Tata. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about pre-initiations. I was taken to a whole bunch of places. I didn't understand, but I kind of put my senses and kind of try to make sense of what it was. And actually, I was talking to my Tata the other day. This is from the first house before that I was in, but I'm talking to my Tata now, and we started talking about this pre-initiation. See, I didn't know. He calls it by a different name. My Tata calls it by a different name. He said recogida. I was like, recogida? Like, all I know is pre-presentations. Presentaciones previas. O ceremonias previas. Ceremonias previas. He was like, recogida. I'm like, recogida. I'm like, recogida. Because recogida for us in Puerto Rico is to pick up, to take, to grab. Like a recogedor is a dustpan. You know what I mean? An escoba is a broom. So a recogedor, dustpan, picks up, right? Whatever you sweep into it. So I'm like, recogida. I don't understand what I mean. And then he broke it down. I was like, okay, we're talking about the same stuff. All right. No problem. I hope you guys understood a little bit. Don't worry about it. Whether you do pre-presentations or don't do pre-presentations, it's not a big thing, you know, to worry about. As long as you get initiated into a good house, good branch, you guys should be fine. I hope you guys have a happy holiday and stay safe out there. Today, Tuesday in Philadelphia. Kind of quiet, but I like it that way. Salam aleikum, malaikum salam, que sambi lo akutare, always.